Dude, I hear him saying that you should move the text. Dude, I hear him saying that you should move the text. Dude, I hear him saying that you should move the text.
Thank you.
Dude, I hear him saying that you should move the text. 也让谁无所理解这个。也让谁无所理解这个。也让谁无所理解这个。也让谁无所理解这个。也让谁无所理解这个。 有点亮黑了，你说你的天。有点亮黑了，你说你的天。有点亮黑了，你说你的天。有点亮黑了，你说你的天。有点亮黑了，你说你的天。 为了让学人生命的真实。
Good afternoon, and welcome to today's graduation ceremony. We hope you have the most wonderful, memorable experience with us, one which you will look back on in years to come with a great sense of pride. Before we start the ceremony, I have 3 key messages to share with you. In the very unlikely event of us needing to evacuate the venue, please leave via the nearest exit, which might be behind you. Please follow our ushers to the assembly points. Guests requiring assistance will be escorted. Please take a moment now to see where your nearest exit is. In line with our commitment to embed environmental sustainability in all aspects of our operations, our graduation programme is available digitally. If you haven't already, you can view the programme using the QR code on screen or at the link rhul.ac.uk/graduation. You'll be able to follow the ceremony easily, as the list of names in the programme should match the order in which our graduands take to the stage. While you've got your phones out, please take a moment now to make sure your phones and devices are on silent. I know that at some points you will want to cheer and applaud, and we strongly encourage you to do so. What I would ask of you, though, is that you cheer and applaud and then quietly pause, so that our next graduate and their supporters can enjoy their moment too. The ceremony is being filmed, and our professional photographers will be taking that all-important photograph of your graduates receiving their scrolls. So as much as I know you will want to capture that moment with your own camera, please could I ask that you don't obstruct the view of the people behind you. Thank you, and enjoy the ceremony. If you are comfortable to do so, Please stand for the arrival of the procession.
Please take your seats. Guests, families, supporters and friends, my name is Professor Mark Fellows and I am Pro-Vice Chancellor of this university. First, let me extend to you the very warmest of welcomes to Royal Holloway. It's wonderful to see so many people gathered here today. Whether you're visiting us for the first time, already familiar with us and the campus, or if you're among those watching us from all around the world on live stream, all of you are very welcome here. We hope you enjoy this ceremony and have a truly memorable day. It's my absolute privilege and pleasure to share this joyful occasion with you and to mark the significance it holds for you and for those you are here to support. They, of course, are our wonderful graduates from the School of Life Sciences and the Environment. The first group of graduates presented at the ceremony are those who studied for a degree of Bachelor of Science. The next group of graduates will be those who studied a Master's in Science, and they will be followed by graduates who studied the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. And finally, we will have the presentation of an honorary doctorate. As you can see, empty seats over here, our graduates are not sitting with us just yet. They're not far away. They've been watching you. We can watch them. They'll be with us all in a moment. They're watching us via the live stream. They'll be with us soon. As we prepare to welcome our graduates into the ceremony hall, I would like to share with you this very special video to celebrate the journey these kind, generous, brilliant people have had as part of our amazing Royal Holloway community. We've appreciated having them here very much during their time, and we really want to share with you how they've made their mark on this amazing university.
The first step, the first awesome sight, the beginning of a journey, the friends, the clubs and societies, the support, the place you called home, and the days and nights spent preparing for a bright future. Today is the day when it all comes together, that we celebrate you and everything you've achieved so far. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new and exciting chapter for you. Today, you join a global community of over 110,000 alumni across 162 countries. Supporting one another, proud of one another. Celebrating your success together. Our global Royal Holloway community. Royal Holloway, together for what matters.
It is now with great pleasure that we move to the presentation of graduands. Please welcome the head of the Department of Biological Sciences, Professor James McAvoy.
Professor Mark Fellows, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I would like to present graduands from the Department of Biological Sciences for the award of Master of Science degrees. With the thesis title of How does an outdoor nature-based intervention in schools affect the mood of children, supervised by Dr. Deborah Harvey, Sana Abbas. With a thesis title of Investigating the Effects of Plant-Derived Compounds on Plan Disease Model in Drosophila melanogaster, supervised by Dr. Javier Augustin, Rebecca Bakhshali Khan Zand. With a thesis title of Exploring the Potential of Nicotiana benthamiana as a Sustainable Biorenewable Platform for the Production of High-Value Chemicals and Proteins, supervised by Professor Paul Fraser, Molly Bush. With a thesis title of Understanding Virulence of a Biotrophic Pathogen, Identification of Podosphera xanthii hostoria expressed genes during cucurbit powdery infection, supervised by Dr. Laurence Binshadler, Longfei Kui. With a thesis title of The Role that the Transcription Factor FHY3 plays in the ability of the plant's circadian clock to reset in response to environmental cues, supervised by Dr. Paul Devlin, Madeline Davey. With a thesis title of The Effect of Ribosomal Protein Large 3 Upregulation and Ribosomal Protein Large 3-like Downregulation in Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, supervised by Dr. Alberto Malerba, Youssef Deria. With a thesis title of Network Modeling of Bacterial Keystone Species in the Phylosphere of Arabidopsis thaliana, supervised by Dr. Paul Devlin, Ali Francis. With a thesis title of The Status of Hazel Dormice in Surrey, Observations using Footprint Tunnels and eDNA Analysis, supervised by Dr. Rebecca Thomas, Lily Hall. With a thesis title of Investigating the Role of Urea Cycle-Related Enzymes in a Drosophila Model of ALS, supervised by Dr. Javier Augustin, Faye Johnson. With a thesis title of Analyzing the Effect of Medium-Chain Fatty Acid Treatment on Energy Metabolism in GLUT1 Deficiency Syndrome Stem Cells, supervised by Professor Robin Williams, Yatra Kapatel. with a thesis title of Medium-Chain Fatty Acids Regulate Energy Metabolism in Astrocyte-Derived Cancer Cells, supervised by Professor Robin Williams, Yassine Khan. With a thesis title of Visual Fields in Galliforms, supervised by Dr. Steve Portugal, Alexandra Lamond. With a thesis title of Investigating Induced Prostaglandin E2 Receptor Expression in SH-Cy5Y cells, supervised by Dr. Philip Chen, Michael Loveday. With a thesis title of The Impact of Noise Pollution on the Songs of the European Robin, supervised by Dr. Deborah Harvey, Ethan Marley. With a thesis title of How Working Memory Varies Between Homing Pigeons and Influences Social Roles and Behaviors, supervised by Dr. Steve Portugal, Lucy Meddings. With a thesis title of Investigating the Role of Jasminates on Salt Stress Response in Barley, supervised by Professor Alessandra Devoto, Oscar Mitchell. With a thesis title of Getting in a Flap, an investigation into the energy-saving benefits of stable dominance hierarchies in homing pigeons, supervised by Dr. Steve Portugal, Lucy Moore. With a thesis title of Microbial Social Dynamics, Antibiotic Resistance and Relative Fitness of Escherichia coli in Planktonic and Biofilm Lifestyles, supervised by me, Professor James McAvoy, Luke O'Boyle. With a thesis title of Trap the Trash, an assessment of passive debris collectors on the Yarra River, Melbourne, Australia, supervised by Professor Dave Morritt, Olivia Rose Drew Tomlinson. With a thesis title of The Impact of Seaweed Extracts on the Plant Phylosphere Microbiome and the Significance of Circadian Rhythms in Shaping These Dynamics, supervised by Dr. Paul Devlin, Alifsa Uston. With a thesis title of Investigating the Effect of Genetic Modifiers in Drosophila melanogaster C9 ALS Models, supervised by Dr. Javier Augustin, Ben Webb. With a thesis title of Modulating the Shade Avoidance Response via Synthetic Phylospheric Bacterial Communities in Arabidopsis thaliana, supervised by Dr. Paul Devlin, Isabel Williams. With a thesis title of Sanctuaries Amidst Urbanization, The Role of Burial Grounds in Insect Conservation, supervised by Dr. Deborah Harvey, Martin Zilli. For the award of Master of Philosophy degrees from the Department of Biological Sciences. With a thesis title of Crop Seed Quality Refinement with Beneficial Microbes, supervised by Professor Gerhard Lerbner, Bernice Mitchener. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy degrees from the Department of Biological Sciences. With a thesis title of The Metabolomic Characterization of Probiotic Microbial Communities, supervised by Professor Paul Fraser and Dr. Laura Perez, Jamie Holland. With a thesis title of Ecophysiological and Molecular Mechanisms of Black Grass Weed Seed Bank Persistence, supervised by Professor Gerhard Lerbner and Dr. Katsumi Nakabayashi, Nahema Veshchenlahi. With a thesis title of Translating Environmental DNA for Monitoring Nature, Species, Ecosystems, Policy, and Practice, supervised by Professor Francisco Ubeda and Professor Dave Morritt, Lauren Cook. With a thesis title of Understanding the Role of the Jasmonates Receptor Complex in Osmotic Stress and Drought Responses, supervised by Professor Alessandra Devoto, Nancy McCulloch. With a thesis title of We Can't Keep Winging It, Evidence for the Drivers of Declines and Conservation Interventions for Pollinators, supervised by Professor Mark Brown, Morgan Morrison. With a thesis title of Plastic Pollution in the Chagos Archipelago, Sources and Exposure of Reef Manta Rays, supervised by Dr. Rudy Reich and Professor Dave Morritt, Jessica Savage. With a thesis title of The Identification and Cultivation of Nutrient-Dense cucurbitaceous Species, Advancing Our Understanding of Isoprenoid Accumulation in Cucurbitaceae for Human Consumption, supervised by Professor Paul Fraser and Dr. Jenny Enfisi, Katarina Schmidt. With a thesis title of Development of a Novel DNA-Based Catalytic Assay for the Diagnosis of Candida Infections, supervised by Dr. Jorge Tovar Torres, Ucheoma Ugoji. With a thesis title of Investigating Epidemiological Questions using Crithidia bombi and Bombus terrestris as a model system, supervised by Professor Mark Brown, Hannah Walmuth Gordon. that concludes the presentation of graduands from the Department of Biological Sciences. It is now my great pleasure to welcome the head of the Department of Earth Sciences, Dr. Christina Manning.
Professor Mark Fellows, Pro Vice-Chancellor, I would like to present graduands from the Department of Earth Sciences the award of Bachelor of Science degrees. Awarded the Paleontological Association Prize, Matthew Healy. Abigail Newport. Madison Short. Awarded the Frank Barker Prize, Lucia Akani Dakotam. Awarded the Best Final Year Project Prize, Olivia Bennett. Alexandra Kwan. Hugo Arrow. Edward Bloomfield Proud. Jacob Garcia. Amelia Gillingham. James Hamilton. Georgina Locke. Awarded the Fleet Prize and the Year 3 Tennant Medal and the TSG Mapping Nomination Prize, Estelle Pass. Anne Roger. Amelia Wilson. Oscar Back-Hadley. Jemima Burberry. Eva Davis. Max Russell. For the award of Masters in Science degrees from the Department of Earth Sciences. Morwenna Solomon. Awarded the Best Final Year Project Prize, Verity Kington. Yasser Amar. Awarded the Frank Barker Prize, Monty Ricks. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy degrees from the Department of Earth Sciences. With a thesis title of The Role of Volcanism in Rapid Global Climate Change Events of the Paleogene, supervised by Professor Alex Dixon, Charlotte Green. with a thesis title of Use of High-Precision Isotopic Measurements in Atmospheric Methane to Disentangle Complex Source Mixes at Local to Regional Scale, supervised by Dr. Rebecca Fisher and Dr. James France, series Willie Maish. That concludes the presentation of graduands from the Department of Earth Sciences.
Before we continue with the rest of this ceremony, let me take this opportunity to congratulate our graduates sitting here. You are graduates. Anyway, here's to our brilliant, wonderful class of 2025. We now proceed with the award of honorary degree of the University of London. Honorary degrees are conferred on persons of conspicuous merit, outstanding achievement in their field of expertise, and the contribution they have made to society. Please welcome Professor Klaus Dodds to present Chris Hines for the award of Doctor of Science honoris causa of the University of London. Klaus.
Good afternoon. Pro Vice Chancellor, it's my honour to introduce Chris Hines. This honorary degree recognises Chris's lifelong commitment to protecting England's seas and waterways and his tireless campaigning for a more sustainable world. In 1990, Chris co-founded Surfers Against Sewage, one of the UK's most successful marine campaigning charities. They raised the alarm about the unsavoury issue of sewage discharge, held the government to account, and forced real change. As Sustainability Director at the Eden Project from 2001 to 2007, Chris ensured that the initiative practiced what it preached. In 2008, Chris was awarded an MBE for services to the environment. And now, through his own company, A Grain of Sand, Chris is supporting organisations of all kinds in their sustainability goals. Chris's interest in the environment began as a child, growing up on the edge of Dartmoor with summers spent on Cornish beaches. A keen surfer and part of the surfing community in the early 1990s, Chris and his fellow surfers were well aware that their favourite pastime brought with it a health hazard. Human waste and sanitary products were common sights in the water. It was when he surfaced from the water with a panty liner stuck to his hair that Chris decided enough was enough. I can sympathise with that proposition. The surfing community asked their local authorities why they were planning to do nothing about the problem, and discovered that the answer was nothing. The truth was that despite the government of the day's denial, villages, towns, and cities across the UK were discharging raw sewage into the sea. Surfers Against Sewage was born out of what Chris calls righteous outrage. He and his fellow campaigners harnessed the cool popularity of surf culture to gain public support, staging enabling and media-friendly stunts such as wearing gas masks with their wetsuits and brandishing a 10 feet model poo on the beach. It's an arresting thought. What Chris and Surfers Against Sewage succeeded in doing, however, was groundbreaking in terms of environmental activism. They pushed the issue of sewage up the political agenda, and in 1997, Chris was invited to be part of the government select committee which concluded that all sewage must be treated at tertiary level, resulting in a 5.5 billion investment in new infrastructure. Thereafter, Chris took on the role of Sustainability Director of the Eden Project. On arrival, he realized that there was a disconnect between the green ethos of the project and its daily practices. There was no waste management facilities. Chris set about the task of introducing a waste-neutral concept, which resulted in the reduction of waste sent to landfill by over 60%. In 2005, coinciding with the Live 8 concerts, Chris was instrumental in organising Africa Calling, an alternative concert broadcast from the Eden Project that put the spotlight firmly on a live broadcasting appearance by Nelson Mandela. Today, Chris works with a variety of organisations to bring about positive environmental change. He says, I quote, "I will tell them if a bunch of surfers managed to achieve what we did, that so can they." He added, "It's easy to think that no one wants change, but recent research shows that 89% of us are concerned about the environment. Remember, we are the 89%. Small things you do multiply to become a bigger change." Chris has made a valuable contribution to raising environmental issues and bringing about change through hard work, tenacious campaigning, and intelligent activism. It is with great pleasure, therefore, that I invite you, Pro-Vice Chancellor, to confer the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa of the University of London upon Chris Hines.
I quite emotional actually, and I think, and I hope I reflect this. We need emotion. We need emotion in order that we protect our planet and everybody living on it. And now I'll go into some words. So first of all, thank you ever so much. This is a real honour. 63 years ago, when I was born, there was almost half the population living on the face of the planet. And the planet has changed radically from then to now. And one of the things that we have to do is to hope in our hearts and our minds that in another 63 years' time from now, the planet will be a very different place and we will have solved a lot of the problems and challenges facing us. And well, it's an absolute honour to be in the room with you lot here. So I'll come back to that in a minute. I didn't do very well academically. I failed all my A-levels. I took the wrong subjects. So this is even more of an honour to get a doctorate. But it's possibly too much of a love of surfing as well, and the kind of lack of conformity that went with it that kind of dictated the world and the career that I went down. And it wasn't until I was 28 years old that I found my true calling. There's a great quote from the author, campaigner for race, gender, and the environment, Alice Walker, who wrote the book Colour Purple. And that quote is, "Activism is the rent I pay for living on the planet." And I guess what I've done is to spend a bit of my life, most of my life, paying that rent, trying to make a difference, a positive difference to the world in which we live. As we've heard, back in 1990, our community was literally being bombarded with raw sewage. The state of our beaches were often making us literally sick. That was a common occurrence. I'll quote Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister at the time. She stated on BBC Nature that all sewage was treated before discharge. That was a downright lie when she said that. There were 400 million gallons of completely crude sewage being discharged around our coastal waters. From Newquay to Newcastle, Brighton to Blackpool, what you flushed down the toilet went straight into the sea without even a basic screen in place. We decided that we needed to do something. It wasn't going to go away. So we kind of called a meeting, and a dozen of us turned up, and we said, we'll call a public meeting. That first public meeting, there were over 200 people. So that very act of starting something helps trigger more change and more people to come to the table. And I guess if you'd asked us then, we had no experience of what we were doing. We had no idea where it would take us, but we just felt we needed to do something in our hearts and our minds. And in life, I've found, looking back, everything is a combination of both heart and mind. And at times you need to put the foot down on the mind pedal, and at other times you need to put your foot down on the heart. So that kind of combination is important to remember. As with all campaigns, we started out with a protest, with a shout about what we didn't want, waving the placards, waving the challenges. But very rapidly, we knew that we had to drive what I called intelligent campaigning, intelligent activism. And activism isn't a word we should be scared of. Activism should be part of our lives, using the skills that we've got to try to drive that positive change forwards. And we ran a campaign where we used science, engineering, law, politics, legal action, shareholder action. We had shares in all the water companies to try and drive that change. We had our blood sucked and our mouths swabbed. We proved that surfers were 3 times more likely to contract hepatitis A than the general public. 93% of us carry the antibodies to the astrovirus in our blood systems. But then importantly as well, we went off and tried to find the solution, and we drove the solution of ultraviolet light tertiary technology through to all of our discharges, and we helped deliver that massive change. And we were, as said, tireless and relentless. We would always keep going. This was a really serious issue, at times deadly serious. In the last year of my work at Service Against Sewage in 1999, I was called to give evidence at the coroner's inquest into the death of 8-year-old Heather Preen. Her mum will be coming and staying with my wife Katie and myself next week, and I would encourage you to watch Channel 4 for a docudrama coming out in the new year that'll cover the story of Heather, so I ask you to remember her name. So we did go off, we did make that change, and we did use that kind of engaging, slightly humorous but provocative, edgy style to bring people to the table. And I think that's one of our challenges, is we have to have the better story. We have to have that story of what our world could look like. And when we look at one quick thing, help. Always put your hand up and ask for help. That was one of the biggest things we did at Surfers Against Sewage, and 2 things happened. Other people came to us and said, well, that's great, because we've also got that problem. But the other thing is someone somewhere will come and help and say, I can help you. I can suck your blood and prove your case. We can help you go into the legal corridors of power and those kind of things. So always put your hand up and ask for help. Looking at the massive challenges that face us now as society and as the population of the world, climate crisis, biodiversity crisis, water scarcity, and then flooding on the other hand, vast gaps between the rich and the poor, and of course the horror of wars. A world as well where divisive social media makes us feel like we're in that minority, that it can be a scary place. But there are massive indicators of hope. And that research just mentioned, 130,000 people interviewed in 100 different countries, all of them, 89% of them saying they want the better world, they want these things reduced, but all of them feeling like they're in the minority. So that's that solidarity of us actually realizing that we own that. We're the 89%. And we absolutely need to take back the initiative and build a world where facts and experts and truth are respected and valued, where love wins over hate, and where we realize the vast majority agree and actually want that world to live in. Katie and I went for a walk to the site of the Magna Carta signing this morning before breakfast, and it kind of made me think, and we were talking about it, that we need a Magna Carta for now. We need a Magna Carta that includes everybody. The hope as well, you lot here, I mean, I was just listening to those pieces of research, your qualifications, the amazing brain power. You're like a giant computer, all sat there like fizzing and buzzing, and you've only just been turned on. You know, it's like amazing to be in your presence. And that fills me with hope that we can do this. Always believe you have the right for your voice to be heard. Always. You know, we went to the Houses of Parliament in 1991, 10 months after forming, with no knowledge of what we were doing. And we pulled the Secretary of State into a debating room in front of camera. And, you know, if we can do that, you can do that. We need to use all of our skills, our passion and our intelligence. We need to use every tool that has been used to create this mad, crazy version of the world in which we live, to build that world where we live in harmony with it, with all the planets and all the plants and animals that live on it, and everybody who lives on that planet, so that we can live in harmony with each other and with the planet. And again, as said, if you think you can't do it, then remember that a ragtag bunch of surfers did what we did. I thank you all. I wish you all the very best of luck with your careers and your lives. And as it says on the award, this has been a real, real honour. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That applause was very, very, very well deserved. So thank you very much, Chris, for all of that. I would like now to introduce our student orator, who will deliver a speech on behalf of all of those whose achievements we are celebrating here today. Please welcome Olivia Rose Drew Tomlinson.
Good afternoon, friends, family, faculty, and of course, and perhaps most importantly, the graduates of 2025. It is an honor and a pleasure to be able to share the excitement today and extend my congratulations to every single one of you here. Today holds different meanings for us all, whether this is your first time, your second, third, or maybe even your 100th. It might be filled with immense relief, unbridled excitement, a mix of the two, but beyond this cocktail of feelings, today signifies the culmination and recognition of all of the hard work that you have put in until now. Through many long days at the laboratory, the library, or out in the field, we have developed not only our professional skills, but we have enriched our friendships, our resilience, and our resolve. Though we may have preferred shorter hours or more successful experiments, as the British author Paul Arden said, it is better to regret what you have done than what you haven't. This dedication of turning up and trying everything speaks to one of Aristotle's most core philosophies, and it's a concept I'd like to share with you today. It is the concept of eudaimonia, the active pursuit of fulfillment. Eudaimonia comes from the Greek word eu, meaning goodness or good-spiritedness, and daimon means a guiding force. And when you combine these, it's sort of understood as good-spiritedness, but it's more than that. It's about understanding how you can enrich your life and others. So it seems nebulous, but it encapsulates more than just fleeting joy, like when we just got our diplomas. But it's the realization and the development of your skills and your potential and your happiness in the long term. In undertaking a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD, we have all been striving for excellence and challenging ourselves. We have been actively working towards achieving and maintaining this state of fulfillment, this eudaimonia. And before we begin to look forward, I want you to take a moment and look back at your journey here at Royal Holloway. From receiving your acceptance letter, to Freshers Week, to final submissions, exams, vivas, reflect on how many times you faced challenges, both big and small. Any mistakes or times you may have felt enjoyment or disappointment. And now take a breath and look around the room. You made it. As you continue looking around the room, I want you to take in all of the people who are here today who have been cheering from the sidelines the whole time. To the faculty, friends, and family that are here in this room and those that could not be here in person, on behalf of all of the graduates here, thank you. Thank you for always being in our corner. You are all a part of the community that has made this possible. At every stage, you have believed in us, you have encouraged and supported us and our capabilities. You are our mentors and have shaped us and acted as guides beyond the university sphere as we have been finding ourselves and establishing our futures. And fortunately for us, perhaps unfortunately for you, we know that you will be in our lives well beyond today, and that we're going to still keep reaching out, so be prepared. We have started as strangers, but we're leaving as friends. And although we do not know everybody in this room, we are connected through our shared time at Royal Holloway. As we begin to write our next chapters with anticipation and apprehension, our time at Royal Holloway is not forgotten. Much like scratching a pencil over a pad of paper, the pages to come keep the indentations of what we have already written. Today is a tribute to our dedication, and all of us have achieved something spectacular that you should be really, really proud of. And whether your academic journey ends here today, or if you're continuing it, I hope you continue fostering a lifelong love of learning and working on your eudaimonia. I wish you all the best and luck in your futures. Congratulations to the class of 2025.
Apparently I have to follow those two speeches, and that's slightly tricky. Thank you very much, Olivia, for sharing those beautiful words with us. It's a huge achievement, of course, to deliver the student oration, and it's a wonderful thing for us to be here in the room to share that. You've done yourself, your cohort, all of us here, so very proud. I'm going to take this opportunity also to thank our wonderful student musicians, Ling Ling Bo Smith, Maisie Pierce, Claudia Buchanan, who have played so beautifully. So well done. Thank you very much. There is a huge amount of clapping in graduation ceremonies for some reason. And now I'm going to ask our graduates, that's what you are now, to thank those in the room who have shared this journey with you, who've supported you, those who are online, who are there with your best wishes at heart. Please. Right, well, this is a truly wonderful day. Let me start by saying, of course, how proud I am, how proud all of us here at Royal Holloway are of you. This is such a special moment. It's a joy to be able to share this moment with you and to celebrate your fantastic achievements as the class of 2025. To all of our graduate supporters in the audience or watching online or just with us in our thoughts today, we salute you for enabling their achievements, for supporting that, all the things we are celebrating here today. So graduates, this is absolutely your day and your achievement. Enjoy it. Allow yourself to feel happiness and pride, to feel also the love that is clearly here with you in the room, just coming in and listening to the conversations and seeing how people are together. There is so much love in the room here for you. And just want you to know also that we are going to be here for you as a community into the future. Perhaps you should also allow yourself to feel, this is a bittersweet sense of ending. It's a time of transition. I hope, of course, that you have loved being here at Royal Holloway, and I'm sure many of you will be sharing a sense that you'll be leaving a place in a community that really means something to you. Graduation ceremonies make possible a brief but incredibly special opportunity to feel all these things together, to reflect on all that has passed, to celebrate and rejoice in what has been, and to look ahead with confidence about what is to come as you move into a new stage in your lives. As Pro-Vice Chancellor of this university, I get the great privilege of being invited to witness and to celebrate many of our student achievements during their time with us. And these achievements are myriad: astonishing performances, wonderful community events and engagement days, talks, presentations, showcases, serving as student representatives or taking on student union roles, working as ambassadors on our open days and other events where you've done such an amazing job of sharing your feelings about this university with others. Volunteering, public talks, placement in industry, in the public sector, in the Houses of Parliament, from United Nations debating to business simulations to sporting excellence, from schools outreach work, careers mentoring, and involvement through RH100 panels as advisors to the university. All of us never cease to be amazed by the depth, breadth, and sheer brilliance and maturity and generosity of spirit with which you, our students, our graduates, contribute to our local and global communities. You've made a tangible difference to everybody you've met, and we all benefit from your kindness, your insights, and your intellectual generosity. You are all role models, and we couldn't be prouder. Here at Royal Holloway, we are driven to be a university of social purpose, one that strives to have a positive impact on the work through our education and through our research, that helps us as a society face and find solutions to global challenges, and to do this and all else with care and compassion. And we've heard about some of the work we want to support and engage with today. Our students, our graduates from today, are such a huge part of how we bring this ambition to life. And the values that you see written and blazoned on the windows of the building next door, they were co-created with students over the last couple of years, and they're the values that we live by here at Royal Holloway. And I can do little better today than hope that all of you, our graduates, will carry those values in your hearts and imaginations as you write the next pages of your story. It is absolutely your story and your future to forge. Do it at your own pace, make your own informed choices, and if you change your mind along the way, that's okay. Absolutely fine. There is such a lot of the world to see, and who knows what possibilities await you. But please know we will always be there for you. Good days and the more challenging times too. Draw on those Royal Holloway values, and as you move forward, share them generously. As well as generosity, I want to encourage you to feel and indeed practice hope, and it's at the heart of what Chris was saying to us earlier. Hope is what helps us keep striving, not to give up and to keep recognizing possibility. But hope is a wonderfully practical and pragmatic thing, something to figure out and embrace as it enables us to keep going forward, and to make sure that we take others with us on that journey. Not least in times like these, times of change for you as individuals, and there is some uncertainty, as we all know, in the world. But hope is a wonderful and powerful thing to bring us through. The writer Barbara Kingsolver wrote, "The very least you can do in your life is to figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is live inside that hope, not admire it from a distance, but to live right in it, under its roof." And so as you push through doors and into the possibilities that come for you in the months and years ahead, all I ask is that you live under hope's roof, but also leave those doors open. Leave them open for others. And in fact, can I invite you to do more than that? Not just hold those doors open, but to look back, hold out a helping hand, and help guide others through the doors alongside you. Education is about hope, about choice and opportunity, and about possibility. But it is also a tremendous and transformative privilege. Please bear it with your typical grace and generosity and do good in the world. We're immensely proud of all that you have achieved to date and all that you will go on to achieve. You are the very best of us. So here's to you, our remarkable, brilliant, inspirational change makers. Enjoy today, enjoy every moment of this ceremony and the celebrations that follow after it. We are so very delighted for you and wish you an exciting future full of positive contributions to the world. So go forward with confidence and pride into that bright future ahead of you. Be successful, do amazing things, take care, and look out for each other. So I'm going to ask you once more to join together to congratulate the graduating class, the brilliant class of 2025. Thank you, everybody. And now, if you feel comfortable doing so, would you please stand for the recession?
Please take your seats.